Okay, good morning everybody, and I'm showing you today's date like I do at the beginning of every video in order to be able to prove the date. As usual, I will explain why in a second. Okay, now as a result of me showing you this video picture of the cell phone, you can see that it's 9:04 a.m. on 7/17/2014. Now this phone is running I think about 32 minutes behind because it ran out of minutes and I never bothered to update it. So I don't know how it got behind in minutes. Anyways, there's a feature within the tools menu which I just selected called the voice command. It enables the phone to state the date electronically.
Say a command.
My statements are also being tape recorded and on a running recording tape recorder as I'm speaking.
Say a command. July 17th, Thursday, 9:05 a.m.
Okay.
Say a command.
Alright, now this is a video prediction in reference to this area. And this is the area that I was assaulted at on July 9th, 2014, which I had to call the police. Now, let me just cover up for a second because I just woke up about a half hour ago, literally. And I'm in one of those undershirts. So I should have put this t-shirt on before I started the video, but I'm still a little sleepy. I just woke up. And okay, hello everybody. This is just a fast video prediction. The campaign of organized stalking, which can also be termed as gang stalking, is escalating. And I had a very good feeling it would, based on experience and educated knowledge concerning how these criminal expeditions operate and how they respond to anything that they feel threatened to as a result of if a organized stalking, gang stalking targeted individual is exposing what's happening to them online and where it's happening at, how and why. And if they're also using the internet to look up lawyers, if they're using their new phone, okay, to look up lawyers, and leaving YouTube comments on high-profile lawyers in San Diego, since cyber surveillance is a methodology, all the perpetrators, they know it. So what they do in response to observing what the targeted individual is doing online, including even hacking into their cell phone to listen to phone calls. Now, all of the descriptions that I make in this video can be Googled and or YouTubed. In reference to, like, if I state that they intercept the mail of a target, just go to Google and type in organized stalking and or gang stalking and how they intercept the mail. So any description, okay, just cross-reference it to organized stalking or gang stalking, and you will see that what I'm exposing are things that are things that organized stalking perpetrators do towards the targeted individual. Now, monitoring our cyber activity, hacking into our cell phones, hacking into our blog accounts, email accounts, these are done by the perpetrators covertly, okay, for a threat assessment and a benefit analysis. What they're basically doing is monitoring to see what we're doing so they can observe it, scrutinize it, and deliberate what we're doing to see if it's a benefit to them or a threat to them. And so what I do is the following description pertaining to what I do is only is being used for pertaining to predicting what they do. Is my way of showing that what is happening to me, okay, is being covertly managed, creatively and overtly, and at times directly executed. Organized stalking and gang stalking expeditions, it's basically nothing but, sadly, organized crime in the system at the federal, state, and local level. And the campaign recently has escalated towards me, like just since the 9th of July. On the 6th of July, I was at this area. I'm hiking in California in San Diego. Now, you can go to Google. Remember, research all descriptions and cross-reference it to organized stalking and or gang stalking. The best thing to do is to research it to both. Now, you can go to Google and you can type in how organized stalking creates homelessness to targets, how they get landlords and property owners on board, how they will steal and or delay the targeted individual's rent, how they will stage events which are called street theaters in these types of criminal expeditions. Street theaters are nothing but productions that they create. They'll sit down at a table, okay? Whether it be one, it's obviously got to be more, well, it doesn't have to be more than one person, but either the persons, or group that is managing this criminal reality against the target individual will sit down in advance and sit down and they will think to themselves, what is their motivation, what is their objective for today in reference to what is the desired end result that they want to bring about against the target individual. Okay, and then what they'll do is they'll look at what their resources are in reference to how many people they can use, how many dupe citizens they can use, how many syndicate members they can use, and how many syndicate wannabe members they can use. And then after they have gotten together their collection of the individuals they want to use from these just described avenues, what they will then do is get them together. And then they literally sit down and write out a script, like a Hollywood script. Everybody will have a role, okay? No matter how many people they use, anywhere between 1 and even, 7, 8, 9. And I've even read blogs where target individuals and investigative reporters have talked about how they have used even more. Okay, and what they'll do is sit down and they'll say, okay, this is the end result we want to bring about. This is where we want to bring it about at. This is who we want to get involved in the direct event, and this is who we might use or will use as witnesses. Okay, they're called staged events and organized stalking expeditions, which on the internet they're termed street theaters. Staged events are called street theaters and organized stalking criminalities. And these staged events are designed in order to bring about physical well, it's usually also verbal too. Not unless somebody not unless they start even using people to walk up to me and not say a word and just assault me. They are aware that I wear a running recording tape recorder on me at all times. They are aware that I got more than one. Okay, so and they have ascertained that knowledge through the factual reality that I pulled it out in front of a lot of people who were presently in real time engaging in organized stalking, overt harassment towards me. Cyber surveillance is all over the internet in reference to that being a methodology of these criminal expeditions. So they're literally witnessing what videos I upload, and since I have uploaded hundreds of videos, literally showing this tape recorder, because those videos that were being made were literally showing me saying this is the current evidence of something that either just happened or a prediction pertaining to what might happen, or something that did happen that was predicted either on video or audio. And I've also made videos that explaining how I defend myself pertaining to what's happening to me, and part of the way I do that is by wearing a running recording tape recorder on me at all times, unless the battery runs out, or unless for some oddball reason the recorder just doesn't seem to be running, even though it's got full powered batteries and enough memory in it, when an event transpires. And I'll make a video about that eventually. Now, just trust me on this. Just trust me. Now, these staged events, which are called street theaters, they are designed to bring about a desired result, where they are actually an event that is designed to frame the situation, to frame the result. The result being a effect that they want the targeted individual to live in. I'm sorry, to experience. Okay, and it's done to bring about a desired result for them in reference to falsified police reports, falsified campus safety reports, banning a targeted individual from a business, a library, a public library, a university campus, a university library, and or where they live at. Whether it be an apartment, motel room, house, or hiking area, or their car. Now again, previously I've already mentioned that if you research, just in your first day of research, by if you went to Google right now and typed in organized stalking and gang stalking in a separate search to this description that I'm stating right now, go to Google and type in organized stalking or gang stalking and how they create the homelessness of a targeted individual. It's one of their main objectives. Okay, now I made a video at this area, okay, on July 6, 2014, literally right outside the tent. In fact, let me just show you where it was made at. It was literally made right here. And here is the entrance exit of the tent. It was literally made right here, okay? And in this video that I made on July 6, which I still have the video file on the video card, and its timestamp shows that this video was made on the 6th of July, okay? It was also uploaded the day it was made. As I was standing outside of this tent making this video on July 6, 2014, I flat out stated, let's see if anything happens concerning me, about me, towards me, around me, or against me at this hiking area, including towards my property, like after I leave for the day, whether I go shopping or to a public library, university campus, obviously, if I'm not here, because I'll be at those places I just mentioned, then my property that is left here is left vulnerable. So what I'll do is make a video and predict, let's see if anybody comes and steals my property today while I'm gone. Let's see if anybody comes here and damages my tent or slashes up, because they already did that and I've already taken video. In fact, let me just show you what they did on February 27th, 2014. They came down up in here. I had to tape it up and tie it up with bread ties. Okay, they came down here and slashed up my tent. And that morning, as I was leaving to go do my laundry, I was making verbal statements in my running recording tape recorder. I didn't make a video that morning, but I was literally making statements in my audio recorder that morning about what they pulled towards me as I was hiking in a tent in Connecticut. They did the same thing. And then I left to go do my laundry, came back, and that's what was done to my tent. And I can prove it because I saved my audio files. And my tape recorder reflects the date and time. Now, so I made a video here on July 6, 2014 stating, let's see if I come home and anything's wrong with any of my property. Let's see if there's a trespass notice put on my tent. Let's see if any property's stolen. Okay, and let's see if any event happens here towards me physically, including assaults. Now that video was uploaded on the afternoon, okay, of afternoon, early evening, around that time, on July 6th, because I literally left this area and then literally went to a library to upload it, which is what I did. And then I saved the video on the video card. I didn't erase it, okay? I still have that video card in my physical possession today. Now, the 7th, the next day, I went to a dental appointment, okay? So by the time that got all done, and by the time I left there and then went to the grocery store, the entire day was gone. Came back here that night, did my usual business, just scoping my phone on the internet, saying my prayer like I do, which everybody should do, hopefully. I am a Christian. And then I went to bed. Then the day of the 8th, I decided to stay here. I think that's what I did on the 8th. I can review my tape recorder. So anyways, the 8th I stayed here, and then the 9th I planned on staying here and going through some bags in order to finish going through some bags that I got hiking gear and stuff in order to filter through it, to categorize it, itemize it, and categorize it in order to prepare it to move. Okay? And I started a digital tape recorder audio file before I got outside the tent. And I stated as I started this audio file, this is a GS file, which means this is a gang stalking file. Now, the abbreviation, the notation GS files means that if anything happens towards me at this hiking area today, and on any day, okay, that I have already discussed in any media platform, email file, video file, audio file, blog, petition, okay, if anything happens that is already described on any of these just mentioned media platforms, or anything that I have saved on USB drives in reference to Word documents, okay, it will be directly it will be directly related to this organized stalking, gang stalking expeditions. Because the reason why, what I did was I just real briefly, I took out my tape recorder. Because before I get outside of this tent every morning, I was having to describe details about what could happen before I get outside the tent, after I get outside of the tent, and for the whole time duration of while I am preparing to leave for the day, or what could happen towards me as a result of me just hanging out at this area today. And I got tired of making these long, detailed statements in my recorder every day just before I got outside the tent to get outside of it to do what I wanted to do. So what I did was I made an audio file, and I said, from now on, if anything happens that I've ever discussed and recorded in any way, shape, or form, audio file, video file, email file, blog, petition, okay, concerning anything that might happen to me because I'm a target of organized stalking, which can also be termed gang stalking. If anything happens that I've already described in these aforementioned media platforms, it will be directly connected to this organized stalking expedition, and GS files now stand for that statement. So in other words, every morning now when I get up, all I have to do is say this is a GS file. And that means that when I start the recording and say this is a GS file, and then get outside of my tent and something happens, stating that this is a GS file, that means that anything that happens, okay, towards me, whether it be an assault, an eviction, harassment, whatever, or my property, it will be directly related to things that I have already described about this expedition in these aforementioned media platforms. And I did that so I can just basically say, look, if anything happens concerning me, about me, towards me, around me, or against me, or my property, it'll be brought about more than likely in the ways that I've already described concerning what might happen towards me because of gang stalking. That way I don't have to get in a long daily explanation every day before I get outside of my tent concerning what might happen to me, because I have got hundreds of logged audio predictions. Okay? And I also stated in these files, I also stated that GS files are also related to any general or detailed information that any other target individual has ever made on the internet, or any investigative reporter has posted online concerning gang stalking. Concerning gang stalking. Because organized stalking and gang stalking expeditions operate on the same. Organized stalking basically operates on a template of protocols, tactics, methods, maneuvers based on the schemes that they develop. So on the 6th I made this video. And on the 9th, when I was sitting here minding my, so right on the 9th, right before I got outside of the tent, I said this is a GS file. Okay? I then get outside of the tent, I started a tape recorder, that's why I said this is a GS file, and I was outside of the tent about 6 hours with one entire audio file running. Okay? And once the 6-hour point had been reached, 2 individuals came to this area. One came from behind me, across the creek that's behind me, and another guy came in this area. Okay? And the end result was an assault. Okay? Now I predicted it just 2.5 days before, on the 6th, right at the very spot I was assaulted at on the 9th. Now this is not the only assault that has taken place towards me here in San Diego. I've been assaulted now 4 times. And every single assault was literally, 2 of them were predicted in email files, okay? One of them was predicted the morning it happened, and then it happened 8 hours later, and then that same assault was also predicted 90 seconds before the guy was spotted, okay? And then 30 seconds after he was spotted visually, okay, he walked up to me and assaulted me, okay, in a tape recorder. Okay, and the 4th assault was predicted in audio file and video file on the 6th. So, when you really look at this, 2 assaults being predicted in email files, all assaults being predicted in audio files, and 1 assault being predicted in a video file. So, what I'm doing right now is I'm basically stating I am still at the area where I was assaulted at on July 9, 2014. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make this statement. There are syndicated police officers to these criminal expeditions, make no mistake about it, and there's also syndicated lawyers, judges, okay, and doctors, psychologists, psychiatrists, any type of medical staff that you can think of, including administrative staff, and I'll get to the reason why I'm bringing this up in a second. See, one of the reasons why they create homelessness is in order to, because they're schemes brought about through physical and verbal theatrics, which are called street theaters. The whole goal for them is to try to make it appear that the target is delusional, okay, because they're claiming they're being stalked by people they don't know, even though they factually are, and that they can't take care of themselves because they're homeless and won't get out of it, and they're claiming they're homeless because of this stalking, and because they're a threat to themselves or others. Like when a target individual gets tired of being assaulted, they might start defending themselves. Okay? So this is one of the reasons why I predict what I do. Now, you would not believe the evidence I got. The evidence I got is astronomical. It is literally astronomical. I'm going to play with just one small segment of an audio file here really fast in order to be able to prove to you that I'm a victim of this crime. On November 20th, 2014, I approached two UCSD campus police officers. No, I actually approached one. I was talking to 2 like a few minutes before, but then I approached one and I said, look, I go, I'm being gang stalked on this campus, and part of the way that they let me know that I'm being gang stalked is to get around me on a daily basis every time I come to their campus and repeat gang stalking around me in specific ways in the same exact identical way everywhere I go on their campus. It's actually being done along all my routes as well. And so I said what I do in response to this overt verbal harassment that is intentionally designed for me to notice it, for me to hear it, okay, and it's also intentionally designed to attempt to overload my senses as a result of how often it's repeated, okay. And I basically said every time I come on their campus that it is set around me every place I go on their campus practically non-stop. And I said the only thing I'm trying to do is catch it. Okay, and what I meant by that was, and he knew what I meant by that on audio file and video file. I think I even told him. He said, no problem. 8 days later, guess what happened? Literally right up the street on the same sidewalk, okay, that UCSD is on, Gilman Road. This event occurred on Gilman Road 8 days later. Do you hear these two men say gang stalk together? Then one says gang stalking, and then that same one says gang of stalking, I'm gonna F you up. All right, I gotta hurry up and stop this audio file, or video file, the batteries running low. Just listen. Alright, now I do apologize for the language, but if you were creatively overtly harassed, which I am, which every targeted individual is, go to Google and type in organized stalking and sensitization methods and repeating words and phrases and or physical gestures towards the targeted individual everywhere they go every day. That's an overt way to intentionally, with complete malice of forethought and criminal intent, to let the target know overtly that they're being gang stalked because these words, phrases, and physical gestures are repeated around the target for them to either see and or hear every day. Because they got to know where the target's at and who they are to do it, and that proves the stalking. So what I do, and I got 800 audio files of individuals getting around me on a daily basis and repeating gang stalk, oh my god, gang stalk, crazy, gang stalker, gang stalk, oh my god, in that way, literally. Okay? Yesterday at UCSD, an individual approached me as I was coming out of the biomedical library to unlock my bike, and just because I cleared my throat, he threatened to literally punch me in the face. Now, I am subject to these criminalities every single day. Every single day. And if you are bothered every single day by a crime that you cannot get no police officer to make a report for you concerning it, you would start at times to get frustrated. Okay, I even predicted, let's see if anybody bothers me at the bike rack. Okay, whether it's when I'm locking up the bike, you know, to go into the library, or when I come out of the library to unlock it. And the individual that did this parked his bike right next to mine, and he had harassed me on that campus at a bus stop and a couple times coming out of the library, the biomedical library. That's right, with these physical gestures. And he'll deny it up and down the road. He's also been seen at the VA, which is right next door to UCSD. So I had to call the police. I got 4 video files of that event and audio files concerning it. Okay, so the second time after the July 9th assault at this area, the second time me going to UCSD since that event occurred, I am literally physically threatened in my face that this guy would kick my ass. He literally said, I'll punch you in the face. And then he said, if you touch my bike, I'll kick your ass. Why would I touch his bike? Now, I'm going to make a video about that as soon as I, probably tomorrow, because today I got a, and this July 9th assault took place as I got a broken arm and broken wrist. The only reason why my I don't know what you call this, I forgot, ace bandage, and this is put on my broken arm and broken wrist. Okay. Now he attacked me to the point to where the arm and the wrist has been redamaged. I got a follow-up appointment today that was already pre-scheduled. So this is to let you know if any event happens at this hiking area. Trespass notice, being assaulted again, being threatened or harassed by anybody, neighbors, children, because these freaks will literally use anybody's, landscape workers, neighbors, homeless people like you would not believe. So what I am doing is I am predicting again what they're gonna, and the property owner of this area, if I am given a trespass notice while I'm physically here, or if I leave for the day and come home and a trespass notice is left on this tent, or if they take the tent and leave a trespass notice in its place, it will be gang stalking related. And if any of my property is damaged or stolen, it'll be gang stalking related, and I am predicting it on this date. I'm in San Diego, California. My name is Leslie Williams. I predict what they might do before they do it, and you would not believe the evidence I got. It's literally in your face, undeniable. Go to YouTube and Google and type in "Learning Disabled Woman Exposes Evidence of Gang Stalking." Learning Disabled Woman Exposes Flat Out Evidence of Gang Stalking. Learning Disabled Woman Catches Gang Stalking. Learning Disabled Woman Catches Gang Stalker Admitting Sent to Harass. I literally caught 3 separate UCSD students admitting to my face in a hidden running recorder that they were put in my physical presence to engage in these physical gestures I've already aforementioned. And I have caught 4 other individuals at other locations. Okay, so if anything happens here, anything, I don't care how it comes about, because they know I got a tape recorder and they also know I got a video camera. And guess what they're also doing? They're bringing people in my environment to gaslight me with these physical gestures, which can't be caught on audio file. They're not going to admit they're doing it. And so then they believe that that will prompt me to take out my video camera, so they can then turn around and assault me for it. And then if the police are called, I can say, well, I'm taking a video picture of them because they're gaslighting me with these gang stalking physical gestures, and they'll act like they don't know what gang stalking is. And then they'll say, well, that sounds crazy. Are you delusional? And are you provoking these assaults by taking video pictures of people for no reason? This is literally, I can't describe it any plainer, how they operate. Literally. Because they got to make it look like the assault that's happening to you is because of something you're doing, okay? Or because of something that somebody does not want to be done to them. That's right, they're looking for excuses, because they know I take out my video camera when I feel it's appropriate to take video pictures of people who have and are engaging in gang stalking. I'm in San Diego, California, and this is a video prediction. Okay, so if anybody comes here and does anything to me, physically assaults me, tells me I gotta move, causes an incident that causes me to have to move, if the landlord, the property owner comes down here and leaves a trespass notice, tells me I gotta leave, or comes to me and gives me one, or if any if any event transpires here, I don't care if neighbors are involved or whatever. In fact, go to Google, go to YouTube and type in gang stalking bullying on steroids. You'll literally see the neighbors were involved in the gang stalking of that guy who's being covered on the news. I literally have to make these videos to predict what might happen to me, because they're so stupid to literally do what I predict, okay? That just, the evidence I'm catching, all of it is predicted, and you would not believe the huge amount of evidence I got. It's astronomical in its size, and literally undisputable in its integrity in reference to it being literal proof. And I'm literally talking about undeniable, indisputable proof, okay? Literally, no margin for any type of excuses, no matter how many excuses they attempt to apply to it. Now, another thing, I have no doubt in my mind that any police reports that are being made about me on concerning this hiking area, concerning any police officers, they're going to state that Miss Williams is intentionally living in environments where a lot of homeless men are congregating and she's being assaulted because of it, won't get out of the homeless situation because she thinks she's being gang stalked. Therefore, we believe that she's delusional. We believe she cannot take proper care of herself because she's putting herself in these dangerous situations, and she's also possibly a threat to herself or others as a result of her believing she's being stalked. Claiming a targeted individual cannot take care of themselves, claiming that they're mentally ill, and claiming that they're a threat to themselves or others is how they take the syndicated probate control for racketeering and insurance fraud and human trafficking. And this is the entire reason why the homelessness is created. Falsified police reports and doctor reports are needed for the syndicated probate control. This is literally about racketeering insurance fraud and human trafficking and syndicated run organized crime run and owned group homes. They're making people homeless, bringing about these schemes towards them in order to produce falsified police reports, incident reports, campus safety reports, and then using and social services reports, okay, and literally using and doctor reports and using all of this paperwork that is achieved over a long period of time so they can try and claim that they got a long history of it, okay, in order to attempt to file for the syndicated probate control. Okay, just research it and you'll see what I'm talking about. Racketeering, identity theft, insurance fraud, human trafficking is all over the internet. All over the internet. Land co-opting, property co-opting, mortgage co-opting, trust fund liquidation, sexual servitude rings is all over the internet in reference to what these criminals are actually involved in and why they do what they do towards targets. All you gotta do is look at it this way. They don't create the homelessness for no reason. They don't gang stalk the target individual along all their routes every single day for no reason. They don't assault the target because they literally assault the target and or will rob the target and even rape the target to bait the target to call the police so the police can come to the area so they can make it appear that they know where the target's at to file this police report for legitimate reasons. So they will even use the general psychology of a human being and the staged assault to provoke the target to literally pick up the phone and call 911, the very phone that is hacked by them. A syndicated cop answers the call, he comes out, he acts like he don't know what gang stalking is, okay, and files a falsified incident report or police report, and then they take the accumulated documentation over time, stage another huge event, arrest the target or petition them in the county mental health, and then attempt to petition the state to take legal custody of them to put them in a home that is literally run by them. Okay, so the gang stalking can continue now in an isolated environment they control, while they then have taken legal probate control of the target's Social Security, their Medicare. That's right, where the gang stalking continues for insurance fraud. You would not believe what I know. So I'm exposing these factual realities. Alright, so this is a video prediction, and it stands the test of time for the next 30 days, 90 days, year, 2 years. Because remember what I said, they stage these assaults and these events over a long period of time so they can make it appear that the target's got a long history of mental illness. That's right. They gotta make the paperwork look justifiable. I'm in San Diego, California. My name is Leslie Williams. I suggest you do the research if you want to know what's factually happening to me by extreme, filthy criminals who I do not know at all, period. That's right. They're targeting the elderly, single women, single mothers, people on disability, parents that have disabled children or disabled adult children. It's racketeering. Okay? That's right. Straw people, treating people like straw people to call up their finances and or to apply for federal funds in their name once they get the syndicated probate control. I make these videos to inform, to expose the truth. In closing, go to Google and type in how a woman was, I think it was Philadelphia, I think it was. A woman was literally kept 4 mentally disabled individuals locked in a basement for 10 full years in order to co-opt their Social Security disability checks. And when she was caught, she had the identification cards of 50 other people that were on disability. Now, to prove to you that judges can be involved in these types of racketeering schemes, go to Google and type in Pennsylvania judge sentenced to 28 years for pipelining first-time misdemeanor children to detention. What he was doing was he was giving children that got arrested the first time for misdemeanors to the full maximum sentence to a detention center that was privately owned. Every time he did that, the detention center would turn around and apply for federal funds per child. When those funds came in, the detention center would kick back a portion of those funds back to the judge. So basically he was using his employment descriptions to pipeline the children to the detention center. Once the detention center received them, they would apply for federal funds per child. When the funds came in, the detention center would kick a portion of those funds back to the judge. He got caught and got 28 years. Same concept, literal same concept. It's a syndicate. Judges are involved in these schemes, lawyers, which includes possibly prosecutors, members of the DA's office, judges, lawyers, doctors, police officers, fire department, EMS, insurance fraud, nurses, administrative staff in hospitals. You would not believe what I know. It all works together in order to achieve these desired results, and bank managers. Alright, I'm in San Diego, California. This is a video prediction. Any event happens here that causes me to have to move, okay, that causes me to be assaulted, that causes a trespass notice, or property stolen, okay? All 4 of these I'm predicting right now, today. Thank you for listening, and have a nice day.